All right, all right, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Space Camp open the show with a ukulele ditty.
Did he?
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, oh my god, let me conjure this jam real quick. Because I fucking,
Fucking did he really? No, did you see that Kanye West said something?
I fucking conjured that shit. Sorry.
Said something about on Twitter that he sucked his cousin's dick,
Nice. Interesting.
and now he's white.
Wait, okay, we need to unpack this real quick. What? Who are you talking about?
Kanye West.
Oh, Kanye West sucked his cousin's dick and now he's white?
Yeah,
As in,
he's saying that he's white.
Kanye's white.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he's like a Nazi or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, obviously you're not, dude. Like,
yeah, you're quite literally black.
yeah, like.
But welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Art of the Jam. We are fucking chilling. I got a nice little pushy down coffee press. We're doing Space Camp
why
is.
did it like that? What?
You did it you did it kind of sissy boy.
Yeah, well,
No, I don't want to say sissy boy. You did it very fanciful. Fanciful is a one of our favorite words on this show. I feel like I use it often, but anyways, today, guys, we have a fun topic for you. We just concluded on the last episode our Death and Dissonance series about murder and music and death and whatnot. And I hope that was somewhat enjoyable. And first cup of coffee today?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it probably feels good.
Yeah, well.
Pretty
yeah.
nice and stiff and give you little shakes. I love that. That's my favorite feeling.
I didn't do anything all day, so.
I get you. But yeah, so we had Death and Dissonance. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We are still trying to get our footing with these topics and things, and I'm trying to get better at research and speaking on these things. And today our topic, before we get into our question, we do have a topic for you today. Space Camp. Are you ready to hear about the topic for today?
Yeah, I thought you were like, hey, say something. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, you didn't even tell me to.
I wanted to be dramatic. But today's topic is the wild, the wonderful, the cattywampus, the bizarro, off-kilter oddballs, the quirky works and onstage, offstage eccentricities of those too weird for this world. Bam, that was nice.
Yeah, I'm getting good with that.
I don't want to get you a soundboard. I just want to get you like a slew of just things to make music with.
I'm honestly taking an inspiration from Kill Tony, honestly.
Kill Tony is what honestly inspired the show, to be real with you.
Oh, that's cool. Did you know he plays fucking drums?
Yeah, he's good.
I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
He got on stage with Jelly Roll, and he was like, what are you gonna do? You don't play any instruments. Jelly Roll didn't know he played drums.
Yeah.
he was like, why don't you tell a joke? He's like, Jelly Roll, jokes has been getting me in trouble lately.
Dude,
they really have, dude.
He's not like a great drummer, but he's good.
Yeah.
For not being a drummer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
But we are going to. So this intro isn't so long because the last one was like almost 5 minutes long, and we need to.
Is it really?
Yeah, but it's okay. Question time! It's that time of the show, everybody. We have a question for you, audience, and today's question, to do with our topic of those too weird for this world, what is the strangest song you've ever stumbled upon and actually enjoyed? Not something that's like, whoa, that's weird, I don't want to listen to that. Something that was so strange, you enjoyed it. Okay? It could be the avant-garde. It could be free jazz. It could even be Corey Feldman. We don't know. Whatever you're into.
Or Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, yeah, I don't.
I'm just fucking throwing things out there.
We're just doing Jerry Seinfeld noises.
How about them airline peanuts, eh?
Yeah. But I will repeat, everybody, what is the strangest song you've ever stumbled upon in your life and actually enjoyed? Go ahead and answer that in the comments. Do your thing, audience. Do your thing. And guess what? Cue that intro. Boom.
The universe.
I love this thing.
This is nice. We are back from the intro. Space Camp, how are you feeling today?
All right, I'm all right.
Doing well. I know you've. I know you. We won't get into it, but you've had a very slow day. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And same here. I've had a very. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a very unkempt episode. Everything's kind of slown about. My basement, in which the studio is set up,
floods.
it floods very often, and we just got through with a bunch of rain, so everything is. You can't see it, but off camera we got a squeegee just ready to squeege up that water.
Squeeze.
And no rug. I don't think you can see the floor, but we don't have no pretty rug, and so I'm just like feet on concrete. That's cool. I like that. But anyways, we will get into. I mean, if you're feeling good, Space Camp, how's that first fresh cup of coffee of the day? How does that feel to you? It's like a shot of tequila for me whenever I have that.
Yeah.
It's good.
With the worm.
Yeah. For real.
But the only thing that really, I like a lot of weird shit, so it's kind of really hard. But
Oh yeah. I forgot about the question.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I should have put context to it. But like that one.
No, I'm following you.
When I looked up that the 20s like style music, that was fucking weird.
Sadly, I still haven't. I
You
told you.
you could tell like the recordings are not very good because.
Well, yeah, it's the 20s.
Yeah.
They literally had like a tin can with a.
But like the
wire
sound of
attached to
it, like it's dope.
Yeah, of course. That's like, I mean, like Robert Johnson's recordings. They're not great. It doesn't have to be. The quality of it doesn't have to be great in order for the songs and the music to be good.
And like the way they sing is weird.
Yeah, like.
It's like almost like they sing and talk at the same time almost.
Huh.
It's kind of like.
You ever heard of Pokey Lafarge?
I don't want him poking me.
Yeah. Well, you actually may have heard him. I've played him a couple of times before, but he's like a musician that is inspired by that era of music, and he actually sounds like that. It's like something in the water. Like
Yeah.
It's like he just has that really
Like yodel, that like kind of
almost
yodely.
Yeah. But he has that song that's like, I need something to fuck me up. It's a great song, but yeah, he's just like one of those weird dudes from like the 30s.
Oh,
sounds like he's from the 30s, but
off the rails a little bit. But they have this I think they have this pedal where you can literally like make words through your guitar.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought that was fucking crazy. Like you can literally make your guitar say words.
Oh, like literal words.
Legitimate.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's cool. One of the weirdest guitar pedals I ever seen was you could attach an AV, like you remember like video games, like old consoles, like Super Nintendo. They had like the red, yellow, and white RCAs. Well, it had that, and you could plug in to a old TV through the pedal, and you could make, like when you play, it would just make shapes on the screen.
That's
kind of deep.
That would be fucking
It would
dope.
be cool. Yeah. It almost fit the shtick.
Yeah,
shtick,
yeah. I was like almost up our alley, dude.
I do have an answer for this one.
Hell yeah.
For this question. So, the strangest song that I've ever stumbled upon and actually enjoyed, and I've talked about my love for Frank Zappa plenty of times on the show, but the song, if you have never heard the song Plastic People by Frank Zappa, I can't really say that's the strangest, because all Zappa's music is strange, straight up. And I probably will cover him in the next episode, just his life in general and things that he did. But the song Plastic People by Frank Zappa is like so strange but so beautiful in its own way. It's hard to explain, because it's literally about just take it for what it is. Listen to it. Plastic People. What do you think that's about? You know what I mean? It's a social commentary. It's great. It's a great song. Listen to it. It's fucking weird.
Plastic People, I think, is like everybody caring too much about their appearance.
Yeah, fake ass
Yeah.
honkies. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. No, that's exactly what it's kind of. There's like a line in it where it's like that I always love, and it's like they think we're talking about somebody else in the song, and it's like, I don't know. Leading up to that, I love that, because it's like, it's just like making it. You can tell that if a plastic person is probably listening to the song and they're enjoying it, but thinking that they're not the person that the song is talking about. If that makes sense. So I don't know. I always love that. But so you're into you think the strangest thing that you've ever heard is the 1920s?
But it's the first thing off the top of my head. Like,
well, you can't think of anything. Like, just something weird, like fucking Yoko Ono, just like Mongolian throat singing.
it's cool.
Corey Feldman.
Call back.
Well, I'll probably call him back again. I don't know. Yeah, because there's some strange songs out there that suck, but they're so catchy they get in your head. That's why I keep mentioning Corey Feldman, because he has a song that gets stuck in my head every time I hear it, but I fucking hate it. It's called the Comeback King, and it's just, I'm the comeback king, and literally I'll just sit there and that'll roll around in my head for days, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna unalive myself so hard. But anyways, that being said, we'll move on. You know, we didn't film last week, so we have pretty much 2 weekends to recap. So we played Studio 301. We had a weekend in Wisconsin 2 weeks ago, and we played Studio 301 with like 9 other bands. I think it was 9 bands total. So yeah, so let's unpack that. Who we had Sacrilege, Dog's
just
Blood.
brought that damn card.
I know, but I'm on one right now. I'm trying to. I think I can figure them out. So, Sacrilege, Radiate. Well, I was gonna save the best for last, because I'm gonna say, I don't want to say anybody was the best, but my favorites were Radiation, which is they're a 3-piece. Drummer, a guitar player, and a violinist, which is fucking dope. And they were really good. They're mostly instrumental, but you know, the songs were all good. I'm a big instrumental guy, so I fucking think it's dope. But Radiation was good. And then we have the Trembling Giant, which was the first band that opened the show, and I hope they're listening, because I love Trembling Giant so much. I have like a weird affinity for it's almost like young adult angst. I don't know how to explain it.
Weird word.
It's just like the shit that he sings about and talks about is just so identifiable. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, when someone's like, you know, like, and no offense to like metal music or like grunge or like, you know, like bands like 3 Days Grace and shit like that, like quote unquote butt rock. No offense if you're into that, but I just don't identify with it. Like whenever, like the lyrics, they can say something that I like have experienced before, but I'm
Right.
still like, I just don't, like, I'm not like invested in it. It's like the shit that he's saying. It's like he reaches out, and it's like the band the Front Bottoms. If you've never heard the Front Bottoms or the Mountain Goats or something, it's like they're like folky.
Where the
punk.
fuck do they come up with these names?
I don't know. But it's literally like they just like reach into my chest and just like ding, pluck my little heartstring and let it ring out and harmonize with what they're doing, and it's beautiful, and I love it.
Make my heart sing.
They do. They make my heart sing. But Trembling Giant, Sacrilege. I don't want to forget anybody, but I already have. So, shit, dude. Who was the was it Drugstore Riot or something like that?
Yeah, Drugstore Riot.
And then
dude, and there were some that I didn't catch the names, and also there were some that didn't show up.
the one that
So I'm like, I don't know who.
that was
like,
the Skin Tones. The
no,
ones
there
that
was
didn't.
two. There's two bands that didn't show up.
Oh.
So
Well, no, one of them we missed because we were setting, because it was Studio 301 is kind of dope. It's 2 stages.
okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure only one band didn't show up. The other one we didn't catch because we were on the main stage setting up while they were playing. Because it was like one of those, like a band would play while one band was over here setting up and getting mic'd up, and then as soon as they ended, sound check and start their set, and then so on, back and forth. So one of the bands I don't remember. Because
I'm not gonna disclose names, but if a band is literally playing their set,
I was gonna avoid this, but go for it.
I'm sorry.
Didn't do it.
I
No,
need
you're
to
good.
I was like, if you are literally setting up and playing while somebody else is playing, and you decide to play your instrument, go fuck yourself, dude. Like.
And you know what? I'm gonna double down on that because
It's disrespectful.
you're a disrespectful fucking asshole. And you know what? If I'm literally 10 feet from a live band playing, and they're punkish metal, they're loud, right? If I can hear you sound checking over that, I second that. Go fuck yourself, because that's rude and disrespectful. You let everybody have your time. All right, everybody gets their time. You'll get your time. Fuck the fuck off.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
It's dumb.
We are all musicians, and as we
doing
say,
the same thing.
we're out here. We're doing the same thing. We're all in this together. All right, we're all fucking, we're all fucking doing it. And so you just need to
don't be a hot shot, high ego fed person, musician, because man, it don't look good at all.
If you got an ego, go fuck yourself. I mean,
not mad, nothing against you, but it's like if somebody has an ego, it's like, all right, you may be good at what you're doing, but that don't mean shit, because
your talent means nothing.
Piss poor attitude all the time, rude to people, and also I see this too, people being rude to the sound guy, like.
I didn't see that.
No, not like that.
Just in general.
Just in general, being mean. Like, they tell you to turn down. Don't.
Yeah, I like my shit loud.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest. Every time they tell me to turn down, I fucking turn down, because it's symbiotic. You gotta let them. You gotta let them do their thing, and they'll let They'll let you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
You meet in the middle. Everybody just be kind.
Be kind, because that's going to take you farther in the long run. You might, without stepping on people's toes, it might take you a little less time to get where you're going, because you're able to have no conscience and just step on people and step over people. But if you want to get there the right way, it's the long way.
It's gonna take
but you
longer,
fucking be kind to everybody. Even if that motherfucker is rude to you. Now, I'm going to say this. Stand up for yourself, But there's a way to go about it without being a fucking dick right back. You don't want to stoop to their level, but I don't want to go
too much into it. But that had to be said.
It does need to be said. Thank you, Space Camp, because I was straight up going to ignore that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't. Because I hate that shit.
But so yeah, that was our experience. We played at Studio 301 in Portage, Wisconsin.
I loved everybody there.
Yeah, there was
great
Desi, Jason, and Craig. Yeah. And they actually have a haunted. What do you call that? The upstairs of the venue is haunted, and they took us on a little ghosty tour, which after the show.
Yeah, literally, we were. What did the show end? What, like?
It was like 11.
11, and we were there until what, 2:30, 3 o'clock, just hanging out with these guys.
They were pretty cool people. They were really, really cool people.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice people.
And we appreciate them very much.
Great venue idea. Like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah. I will say that after the ghost hunt, though, I was very much afraid to go to the bathroom on my own. Like
there, or just in
there.
general?
Yeah. No, not in general. There, I was like, one of you guys. Yeah, I was kind of like, I'm one of those people that I'm afraid. Like, if I'm afraid to do that, I'll still do it. But I'm like, I would really much prefer if somebody went with me.
Yeah, like, will you stand outside the door?
You don't even have to stand outside the door. I want you to come stand right beside me while I pee. Hold my hand. But, no, I'm just kidding. But Studio 3, Portage, and then the Saturday night we went to Beloit, Wisconsin, and we played at 5 Bar.
Oh, that was dope.
Yeah.
And shout out to Lady
Corgi, the Lady Corgi dog. Yeah, she was the sweetest and one of the most well-behaved dogs I've ever seen, actually. And then shout out to Levi for letting us come play, and we just had a good time, and there was very little promotion, but I think
it was a good turnout.
We pulled a crowd, which is pretty decent. I mean, like, it wasn't a huge fucking crowd, but we pulled people in, and that felt pretty good.
We're starting to do that more, especially. I think it's our energy, really.
Yeah.
We just, like, have this life force once we start playing. It's like, oh, let's go over there.
Well, and it doesn't help when I call them cowards. For not. If you don't enjoy this, you're a fucking coward. And they're like, wait, I'm not a coward. I'll come listen to you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's funny, too, whenever there's, like, we started the show and there was a group of people just sitting in there before we were even, like, ready to play. And I had to disclaimer. I was like, we're going to ruin your conversation. Like, straight up.
Like, it's not going to be quiet.
Yeah. And they're like, we like loud music. And they hung out for a minute. They did leave. I don't think they left because of us, though. You know what I mean? I think they...
No, I think some of them were in the bar and stuff.
Yeah.
So they didn't, like, leave, so...
Right. Which they, apparently, from the actual bar... You could hear, you could still hear us. Obviously, we were pretty loud,
and they did leave the door open and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
there was a couple of people that came in and were like, "I could hear you out there, and you guys are dope." It's like they, even the people that didn't actually come into the venue part of the bar, still took the time to come in there and tell us that they enjoyed it.
Speaking of bar, dude, that bar they had. With the couches, they did. Like, so it had, you know how your traditional bar, obviously, for bar stools, but they had like a platform that you went up halfway with, like, the bar, and then they put couches.
Yeah, dude.
It was like, what? So you got couches at the bar, bro.
It was like I describe it as like an inverted conversation pit. Like, normally in like an old like 60s, 70s vibe house, there's like a conversation pit where it's like a step down and then couches. This was like a step up to the bar and then couches. It was kind of cool, and it was a very swank place. It was kind of a retro vibe to it.
Yeah,
they had like old
like
TVs
and stuff.
Yeah,
it was all them TVs and shit.
Yeah, dog, that's fucking dope. Yeah, but that was Beloit at the 5 Bar. Huge shout out to all of the people that came there, and enjoyed the show. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. We appreciate you so much. Next, this past Saturday we played at the new skate bar in on Westport. Huh?
Which is 10 times better.
Yeah, it was in St. Joseph, Missouri, but now it's on Westport in Kansas City, in historic Westport in Kansas City, Missouri. And, it's fucking dope. It's kind of like a warehouse vibe, kind of.
But they still got that skate bar vibe to it.
Yeah, but and they had, like, records and shit. And it was cool. And, like, they had some couches, some fucking dope couches.
And then they still had the game thing they had.
Yeah. And, there's not much. I'm going to be honest. There's not much to, really go into that other than because the third band, the one that was supposed to play after us, didn't show up, and honestly, they were a touring act from like Nashville, and I was like, man, that kind of sucks that this band like no called no showed. But now after hearing about the whole situation and that
what happened?
Well, nothing. They no called no showed the show, and but they're a touring act, so that made me think, like, are they okay? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
good point.
They could have been, something could have happened along the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of makes me curious if they ever got a hold of them or if they're all okay. Because that's just alarming, kind of. But
we had a Shit Show came out.
Shit Show, yeah. Fucking Jesse and Crystal, the old
cap. One of my best friends of 16 years came out too with his girlfriend. Oh, and then my girlfriend came out with her friend. It's a good night.
Yeah, dude. We made some new friends. We
sold a shirt. Somebody that lived in D.C.
Yeah.
So we got a shirt floating around in D.C., so that's cool.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Kevin. It was his first night on sound, and
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Though he claims that he didn't do very much because of that Brent guy was helping him out, I still want to encourage Kevin. You need to keep going because it's a dope profession in my opinion.
It's super hard. So it's okay.
Well, to us, yeah, because we just are like,
we just play.
Ding, 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 and yeah. And it's like, well, you twist this knob till
the only one we know how to work is that one.
I barely know how to use that.
Oh, we still know how to work it.
The EQs have been set the same for like 5 years, and I have them marked, and they've never moved. So that's the only reason I know how to work.
We don't need much.
No, definitely not. Especially it's like when we have just one vocal, it's like just move stuff around till it sounds good to us, and there you have it, folks. But
we'll probably have to get a bigger one for like recording purposes, but
yeah, for sure. But there's not much more to say about that show because I believe his name is Milton Mayhem. He filmed the whole set and it's on his YouTube channel, and I'll probably share that here soon on social media. No, just the link to the whole show.
Oh.
Yeah, because he did film a little bit of it, but he live streamed it, and it's all recorded, the whole hour. And so it's got it has like a new song, it has Love Letters on it, which is a relatively new song, and so go ahead and go check that out if you're interested in just fucking watching the whole show. But
yeah, I get to see our goofy asses on stage.
Yeah, for real. We're having fun. We have fun. I don't give a shit anymore.
Dude, so
I just
fun.
have fun, man. But that being said, that was our past couple weekends. We have a few more weekends worth of shows in various places before we go on tour in mid to late June. But we will what? You have something to say? Oh. I do have. This is I will take a hard turn here. This is a segment of the show that happens to, as I always say, this is one of Space Camp's favorite segments. Honestly, there's only like 3 segments to the show, so it's weird to even say. But this is the segment of the show called Phantom Sam and the Fictions. This is the segment of the show for those of you guys who don't know.
I got one. It's pretty funny.
Hell yeah. This is the segment of the show for you guys who don't know that over the course of the week or past 2 weeks, one or if not both of us will come up with fictitious band names, a few here and there, and we'll discuss them, such as what genre of music they would play, who they would, what real band they would open for, or be on the same bill as, or what their album, all sorts of shit about these fictitious bands. So, without further ado, Phantom Sam and the Fictions. I will say, how about I'll do 2, and then you do your 1, because I have 3. Is that cool?
That's fine.
All right. So, I'm just trying to make it so it's not like.
All right. Either way, I could have.
Or you can just do yours.
I'll just go ahead and do mine.
Okay. So, fictitious band name number 1.
I don't know the one-legged lotion lady.
One-legged lotion lady. That's actually dope. I like that. So
honestly, I remember me and Angie were having a conversation, and she did something, and she's like, you know what? It's funny. I just only put lotion on one leg, and I was like, ha, a one-legged lotion lady.
Fuck yeah. That is in my head. That for the first thing I think of is punk, garage punk
Yeah, that's
surf.
exactly what I went with.
Like garage punk surf music. Yeah. Like they would oh my god, they would open for early Yeah Yeah Yeahs, if you ever heard the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or the Growlers. That was
Oh,
very
no, no,
loud.
no.
You hurt my ears when you did that.
Sorry.
It's all good. I forgive you. But they would open for the Growlers or something like that, or something punky and surfy and gothy, weird surf goth punk garage, like the White Stripes but chicks, like the Kills or something. I don't know. Anyways, what do you think? You agree?
Yeah, that's exactly
yeah.
what we went with.
Easy peasy. Fictitious band name number 2. Rest Stop Drama.
I like that.
Yeah.
I get banjos, like a bluegrass.
Yeah. Rest Stop Drama. I feel like definitely a bluegrass, like country vibe, and what am I trying to think? Like, yeah, like a southern rock bluegrass, like almost like Skinnerd, but if Skinnerd was more bluegrass and not like rock and roll, like teeter it over a little bit, and something like that. I think. Rest Stop, and they would open up for what was that? They would the Turnpike Troubadours or whatever the fuck they're called, because that just sounds somewhere.
Or
What?
I don't know. Turnpike.
I don't know them either. I don't even know what they sound like. I'm just basing it off of the name of their band. But no, that one came from the other night when we were in Wisconsin, and that guy was getting arrested at the rest stop.
Oh yeah, dude.
I snapped a picture of it, and I sent it to Michelle and Josh and Charles, and I just put Rest Stop Drama, and I was like, that's a dope band name. And,
No, I wonder what that guy did.
they were searching his car, so it had to do something with drugs.
Yeah, like, cause they had like what 4 squad cars.
Yeah, I'm not
And
sure.
like there was like only one dude ended up going to jail, I guess.
Yeah,
I fell asleep.
yeah, as you do. But I don't think you fall asleep. I don't sleep. You know what I mean? You go to sleep at a reasonable human hour. I'm like, I can't fall asleep before like 5 a.m.
Well, when we're in the van, like I don't know, I only you can only play in your phone for so long.
Yeah.
I need to bring like my guitar or something next time or whatnot.
Some commotion.
That sounded ridiculous.
So yeah, Rest Stop Drama. Yeah. Also, Space Camp. You don't need to. This goes for everybody.
Oh
in the
yeah, I
world.
don't need my phone.
You don't need your phone to
No,
entertain
but-
yourself. You know. I think that's a lot of people's problems nowadays. I'm not here to judge though. Phones are fucking entertaining as shit. The beeps and boops, they're so inviting. Forgot about that Phantom Vibrations. That big epic part. You remember that?
Oh my god, I forgot that even
We
existed.
need to work that in. But anyways, fictitious band name number 3.
That'd throw
technically.
people off that've heard that song. few times.
I know, that's why I think it's...
It just started playing like, oh wow, like now honestly this was the original version.
Yeah, for sure.
We just shortened it up because it sounded cool.
Yeah. It'd be a good tool
Holy
to
fuck.
extend time
That's
to
so
you.
dumb, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But fictitious band name number 3, Greaser Math Teacher. Yeah. I forgot who this was about. I forgot the backstory to this one, but
I don't sound good.
Greaser Math Teacher.
Was
So-
he like a greaser from fucking
like-
Outsiders?
Yeah. Like a black leather jacket,
Toothpick.
toothpick, yeah, toothpick grinning, nickel flipping, fucking Greaser Math Teacher. I feel like they're like the Coffins. Like they're like that, like almost like not the vibe, not the aesthetic vibe of the Misfits, but like that. I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch. You know what I mean? It's like that, like almost like. Why does it just remind me of Hyde Park? Big shout out to Hyde Park. We drove
Already
by.
thought about that.
You know what I mean? That like just fucking pure rock and
What is that?
roll.
What is our? It cracks me up. He's said just so extra. I don't know if it's the bass player.
It was either the bada bing, bada boom.
No, that's the guitar player.
No. They're okay. Sorry,
I
they're
think
all bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I just don't remember their fucking names, and I'm sorry.
I don't either. I just remember. I don't think the names matter. I remember their aura.
Okay, it was the bigger dude.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like when I don't remember what it was, but we were at that battle of bands. I turn around and he's just fucking slamming his fucking hands down on the table. I'm like, calm down, bro.
I love that.
I love that guy.
I love him so much.
It also reminded me. I think it was John from Akirima.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
We played with all of them.
Yeah.
We played with Akirima and their other band, Sweet Dick Willie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where we actually I met.
Oh,
him
that's
for the
actually
first
okay.
time.
That's funny.
They were all Hyde Park was all in Sweet Dick Willie. They were like his backing band, and then Sweet Dick Willie, that was their last show. With him. He moved to California,
and they
created Hyde Park. But
we got to drive on Hyde Park.
yeah, we did. We did just this past weekend. I think Greaser Math Teacher obviously is that pure rock and roll, like
Johnny Be Good
yeah.
shit.
Well, a little grittier than that. But
Okay,
just
or
saying.
what about like Back to the Future gritty?
That's Johnny Be Good.
Is it still?
It's literally what you just
it's
said
what-
already.
Yeah.
You just referenced it again. No, but
But it was a cool movie.
they would open for Hyde Park, Hyde Park would feature for what's a big band? Fucking, oh my god, like the
Early
early
with Clutch, honestly.
well, no, something like almost like Eagles of Death Metal or some shit.
I fucking love those.
Eagles
guys.
of Death Metal. They would that would be the line.
Death by Sexy is probably one of my favorite albums.
But Eagles of Death Metal are like that type, like
Don't speak,
dirty.
don't even whisper.
yeah, they're just rock and
Yeah.
roll, like
Oh, Jesse from
yeah,
Eagles of
they're
Death Metal.
fucking
That
dope, but,
fucking comb slicker.
yeah. It's just like I try to get a whole lineup of bands, and they're like the evolutions of Pokemon. You get like the baby one. Who do they evolve into, and who do they evolve into? That's how I figure out and that's great. I feel like Greaser Math Teacher would be the baby Pokemon version who would evolve into Hyde Park, and Hyde Park at level 60 would evolve into
Eagles
their
Death-
final form, the Eagles
Eagles
of Death Metal. Yeah, for sure.
Don't speak, don't even whisper.
But-
that's probably on my foot. Don't be scared.
One last one.
to
So,
see me
fictitious band name number 4,
coming.
which is my favorite. You done?
Yeah,
No, I'm
sorry.
kidding. I'm kidding. Fictitious band name number 4, Chick Hog.
That's almost as funny as Lap Hog.
This was actually spawned from a sexual encounter with my fiance, not too about a day
I
or
was
two
getting
ago.
ready to say that.
No, I was
chick
just-
hog is it?
I was just like, we weren't doing anything sexual, but I was like hugging her. But I was like she was on the couch, and I was on my knees, just kind of like getting at her level to like hug her, so I'm not like bent down. You know what I mean? And I like was joking around, but whenever I like came back from the hug, I looked down and I was like, "You got such a fat chick hog," and just out of nowhere, I was just like, "What?" Just saying shit, and I was like, "That's the."
What do you say to that? Nothing. You just laugh. That's fuck.
You know what I said to that? That's a fucking badass band. That's what I said to that. Chick hog. I don't even know if I want to get into that one. That one's just fun.
Yeah, dude. They had all of them gotta be chicks though.
I feel
Could be
like
an
that's
all-chick
almost like I feel like they would be like the chick version of Greaser Math Teacher. Like they would have that like dum 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 dum, but all chicks. Like heavy, distorted bass lines, just chug chug chug, but they're all chicks. That's what I think. Chick hog.
So if they're chugging, they gotta open for Kitty.
I'm not familiar with Kitty, but I trust you. I trust your judgment.
That one of the all chick bands
Yeah.
that I've talked about. They have each album they have like there's only 2 original members still in the band. It's the drummer and the one of the guitarist and the singer.
Yeah.
Because she plays both.
Right.
But they have this documentary on Tubi and shit. It's like like the 25th anniversary or whatnot.
Yeah.
But they started with their first album, and they literally brought all the past members for the show.
So you just had a super performance?
Yeah, well, they would do songs from different albums, and so each album had different band members.
They didn't like play together?
No,
it was
they
just
brought
like eras?
Yeah, eras of the
That's
band.
cool. That's
Yeah,
so
it's
cool.
fucking dope. And then like once they got towards their newer stuff now, I was like, holy fuck. I didn't think they would still be as good as they were.
Right,
Because
right.
the first album is called Spit.
That's very
And it's,
grotesque.
Spit!
Yeah.
Spit!
That's the only lyric? No.
I love them so much. They're so good.
But that's fucking dope. So this has been the big, thick. I feel like this is a big, thick piece of Texas toast, and now we're fucking
With
onto
that the good ass Texas Roadhouse butter.
Yeah. I think this is today's jam sandwich. I feel like is toasted with the butter. A big Texas toast piece. You throw it in a skillet with the butter on each side. It's like a grilled cheese, but without cheese, and it's fucking jam. I don't know, but. Here, that being said, that concludes Phantom Sam and the Fictions, and we are going to get to our topic. Our topic today, obviously, I'll repeat, is the wild, the wonderful, the cattywampus, the bizarro, off-kilter oddballs, the quirky works and on-stage, off-stage eccentricities of those far too weird for this world. Let's get to the delicious, delectable, purple center of the jam sandwich here. So you know what I have to say, Space Camp? Let's cue the jam portion of the show.
Let's say his name when he appears.
Oh my god.
I believe it's Joe Hendry.
Where are we and what is this? What have you? Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another jam portion of the show. I'm gonna take a moment to hit his bong back there. That's what we're
Usually
gonna
you
do.
can't see me.
Yeah. Usually, we're trying to work that out. Oh, I think we're gonna move him over there. I think eventually, but yeah, guys. So I hope you are enjoying the show so far. I hope you enjoy the topic. Too Weird for This World, Volume 1. You're gonna enjoy that after this little bit here. But
We haven't got to it yet.
I
How
almost,
can you enjoy it when we haven't got to it yet?
I was literally about to be like, I hope you enjoy the topic of the show. It's like, no, we're right smack down in the delectable center. So, and the gooey center. Yum.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, the Dora.
Do they make sugar-free jam?
I'm pretty sure they do.
I feel like you can't have no sugar because fruit has sugar in it, but.
Well, natural sugars, I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it if, but all this talk about jam has me hungry for jam, you know?
Okay. Just for your FYI, I guess the Reese's peanut butter and jelly cups are fucking disgusting.
The Reese's peanut butter cups, they have peanut butter, they have jelly in them.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Apparently they suck.
That's, you haven't had them.
Oh no, but I trust Angie's judgment.
Shit, I don't know. There's some shit out there that people have been like, this is gross, and I'll taste it. I'll be like,
yeah, that's true.
I see another because I love moon pies, right?
Do you still have those?
No, I think I gave them to somebody because I mean they'll fucking withstand a nuclear
It would have
blast.
been fucking hilarious if you still had them.
I don't know, but I still have a weakness for them, but I am still like strong, and I haven't eaten one in like many years. But I still love to just look at them and fantasize about eating them.
Just get you a whole bathtub.
Dude, yeah.
Fucking unopened.
It's easy like Sunday morning.
Fucking moon pie. The blueberry moon pie is that.
Yeah, the once in a blue moon is where it's at. But my favorite are vanilla and the banana flavor. But I seen the other day for the first time, I seen a like birthday cookie moon pie, and I have you probably don't know this about me, but I love birthday cake flavored things for some reason.
I did not know that. You never told me that.
Well, because I don't eat it, so but I love
well,
birthday
you talk
cake.
about your peanut butter and like your obsession with peanut butter, but
yeah,
like you don't ever talk about how that's funny.
Well, I actually
how long have we been bandmates and I never knew that?
Well, because it's not like my favorite thing in the world, but I do enjoy it. But speaking of peanut butter, I made pecan butter last night.
How's that?
It's alright. It just tasted like fall for some reason. It was like
fall afterwards.
no.
Just trip over your own feet.
It was actually it just made me want peanut butter after that. I don't know. But anyway, but yes. I forgot about that. Yeah. Peanut butter mouth. Yeah. Peanut butter is just where it's at, and it's weird that I enjoy peanut butter, and then the subject of the show is jam. I feel like I'm just this weird peanut butter.
So do you make it whole? Do you make the whole sandwich?
What do you mean?
Like you're the peanut butter, and then the jam is the jam.
I'm just some existential sandwich.
And then I'm just one slice of one slice of white bread.
You can be two slices.
Yeah, it's gotta be an apple.
2 slices of. Well, what are we doing? White bread? No, we're like delicious sprouted grain wheat bread or some shit. You know, whole grain.
Oh, this is the first thing that popped in my head.
Eating none of that Wonder Bread shit.
It's like
Wonder Bread bowl?
shake and bake.
Isn't that a fucking
Talladega Nights,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
also a drug thing too. Yes.
Well, I wasn't even thinking of either of those. I was thinking of shake and bake, like the pre-made.
Mashed potatoes.
No. Well, yeah, I think the shake and bake. It's the pre-made breading that you throw a chicken in and you shake it in the bag. And
Just
then,
imagine, I got shake and bake mashed potatoes. You just pull out a water bottle. Just fucking.
is that how you make math?
Yeah, no, this mashed potatoes. Just walk around with a water bottle full of mashed potatoes.
Dude, that would be brilliant for like a festival where you're like, I'm trying to stay not hungry. Yeah, satiated. That's the word I was looking. Trying to say stay satiated under the sun. I need to bring some fucking mashed yams in a water bottle or some shit. Fuck yeah, that'd be delicious.
That's fucking hilarious.
And it's like it's the butter is separated, so you got to shake it up, and you know it is what it is. What is it? Dead?
Now 5%.
All right, we got this. We're cool. Let's just get into it then. So, sorry we keep talking and whatnot.
We got good shit here. So
we have his phone is on our jam timer and it's at 5%. But we'll go ahead and get into the jam portion of the show. We are going to roll the dice. Space Camp is going to roll the key and the quality dice, and I'm going to roll the time signature and accent beat, and then we'll get on with it.
like a tin man.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Every time I move it, it's fine for a second, and then it starts getting all tinny. But
you know what's crazy?
Yep.
Pants are held together by thousands of strands.
Isn't that what most clothes are?
Wow, it's just crazy to me.
You immediately just look at your dong area.
No, I also made me think I have this tear in my pants, and they're all like crossed and shit. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
There is just tiny little strands of string holding these fucking pants together.
you could even say that about the universe. Dun dun. Think about that.
I get string theory, and I can understand that.
Well, let's let you just stew on that. And then get to the jam here, but we're gonna roll the dice, and then we are going to get on with it.
That's why I don't do cool stick tricks. Because nice hands, feet. Looks like I would play for the Raiders.
No, we don't make sports references here.
I made fun of my own team.
Gators. All right, we're gonna do a count of 7. On an 8, we're gonna drop them. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll. Interesting.
I don't know what any of that means.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to read it to you.
Hang on 1 second. Let me get these up here, and then give me. Here we go.
What it looks like to be is F sharp, GB.
G flat.
And then M, would that be major?
Minor. Little n is minor. Big, yeah. Minor, major.
Oh, okay.
So, we got for today.
I'm trying to learn those dice so like I can read it
Yeah.
and still not know what it means, but at least I read it right.
So our roll for today. We have the key of F sharp. We have a quality of minor. We have a time signature of 5/4 with an accent on the 1. I will repeat. We have the key of F sharp. We have a quality of minor. And we have a time signature of 5/4 with an accent on the 1. Are you fucking mocking me?
A little bit, but it was honestly too much fun. I was just trying to add more pizzazz in the background.
Alright, so 5/4, accent 1.
Oh.
And I got F sharp minor. But also remember last time we were talking about speed.
Yes.
We don't have to go
Fast.
You know, we don't have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Like that? I don't know. It's so hard to pick a fast speed, you know?
I get you. I totally get you.
So 1, 2.
Check.
You said 4, right? Accent on 4?
No, the 1.
1. Oh, it's 5/4 accent. Oh no. Why did it sound like?
It happens. It's old.
What is an axe murderer? No, it is
F sharp. Damn, dude. I was trying to get a riff.
Cool shit.
I was trying to get a riff for so long, and I don't even think I landed it. But
And then those fucking fills, man. Tried so hard to land those two.
yeah, dude, that was. But then every time I get too far off, I was trying to get back to that main groove. That fucking crazy shit. The fucking. Every time I get too far away from that, it'd be so hard to get back to it. I don't even know.
No, I knocked this off and then I instantly spit everywhere on me, dude.
I seen it fall. I almost was like, I'm gonna see if I can pick it up and put it back up there, but I was like, nah, dude. There's no way. But, well, there you have it. There was a jam. I hope it was good for you.
Yeah!
And, yeah, dude. So, enough said. I think we did enough talking before the jam, and we went over by 5 minutes. So
we've already done enough talking this whole episode anyway.
that is true. So, let's shut the fuck up, Space Camp, both of us here, and just let's get back to the jam portion of the show.
It's gonna take you longer because it's fucking wet.
Oh shit!
And you're not gonna break my shit.
I didn't see you there.
Oh.
Welcome back from the jam portion of the show. Hello, neighbor. You know what's kind of crazy is, now that we're back, I totally forgot the album of the week.
I thought we were right there.
No, I did. I forgot to present it. So, today's album of the week has to do with our topic, and I'll be short and sweet. It's very hard. These plastic sleeves, man, they're good for protection, not so good on the grippy grip. But it is David Bowie's Diamond Dogs, because we are covering...
That's fucking sensual.
Yeah, you know what's kind of crazy is I was thinking about this the other day, and you don't really ever realize how many people don't ever actually see the back of an album. You know what I mean? Because it's always the front.
Is it their asses?
What's crazy is, no, from the waist down, he is a dog, which I thought is crazy.
Oh, when you open it?
Yeah, so he's just half man, half dog, which I think is
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's hilarious. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I might have to. I've listened to David Bowie, but I might have to actually just sit down and listen, because I'm not really too big on him, you know.
I mean, he's one of the greats.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
say
of
that,
course.
I love David Bowie, but I wouldn't consider him like the greatest fucking thing ever. You know what I mean? Now I feel like I'm belittling him. I don't want to belittle him. He's fucking amazing, and his music is fucking amazing, and I love it. It's just like he's probably in my top 20 maybe, for sure.
Another band that they're like, I don't like, but I have so much respect for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just one of those. Like, I like Chili Peppers. I'm not really big into them,
Same.
but Chad Smith is one of the best fucking drummers of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
Like
I've only select songs by Red Hot Chili Peppers, but Chad Smith is a fucking legend, and almost I think is the long lost brother of Will Ferrell. So
yeah, well, there's a lot of shit. I seen that fucking thing about it's like on Jimmy Fallon or something.
It's funny as fuck, dude.
But
he's the real Chad Smith.
Yeah. But yeah. So David Bowie's Diamond Dogs. Good album. Actually, I haven't had many chances to actually physically spin this record, because I do believe that it has a couple skips in it, but I also just bought some vinyl cleaner, so I'm hoping that might do it.
Shit, I need to get me another needle for mine so I can start playing again.
Yeah.
Can you get those at Walmart?
What? Needles? I think some, but ours doesn't have needles. Because I've looked. I would have given you an extra needle, but I can't find my my player came with spare needles, but I don't know where they are. So, fuck. But it is what it is. But yeah, Diamond Dog, Sweet Thing, Candidate, Sweet Thing, Reprise, Rebel, Rock and Roll with Me, We Are the Dead, 1984, Big Brother, Chant of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family.
It's grounded.
What?
It shocked the shit out of me.
Oh. It shouldn't. It's not in water or anything.
I don't know. Or it may have been my mustache.
That's happened to me.
Does that happen to you? Okay, yeah. That
for
might
sure.
have been that. It like pulled it, or like it just felt like I just got shocked.
But this record, I chose this record because in our topic today, Too Weird for This World, I'm going to cover him, and this was actually in the era, the Thin White Duke era of David Bowie's career, where he delved into a lot of his eccentric behaviors and things like that. So I will get into it, and I'll repeat it one more time. This is the wild, the wonderful, the cattywampus, the bizarro, off-kilter, oddballs, the quirky works, and onstage, offstage eccentricities of those far too weird for this world. So as we get into this, I'm going to a lot of this I just kind of skimmed, like I said the other day to you off camera. Is I do research, but I try to skim, so it's like as organic for me as it is for him in a way. Like I like to, like almost as if I'm reading it for the first time as well. I know that's very difficult, so that's the vibe I'm going for. So if it doesn't come off that way, or this comes off weird, I apologize, everybody. But I'm just trying to fucking make some cool fucking content for your fucking looky holes and your ear holes and whatnot. So that being said, let me.
It would have been funny if you would. Not it wouldn't have if you choked, like that.
I did choke. What are you fucking talking about? So first up,
No, instantly, when you were just instantly did it.
I just puke. Yeah. No, first off, our first artist for Too Weird for This World is, and I'm sure you've most of you have heard of him, but he is the one of the greatest drummers of all time, along with John Bonham, the Keith Moon from The Who. And so this is just lists of fun facts that make them weird. Okay, so Keith Moon, The Who once rigged his kick drum to create a flash to signal their finale song, but he didn't think that was enough of an explosive ending, so he managed to re-rig the kick with that of a small bomb. So, blowing up just seconds after Pete Townsend, the singer and guitar player of The Who, his head was parallel, like he was bending down to play, like jamming with them, you know what I mean? Just seconds after Pete Townsend's head was parallel to the resonant head of the drum kick, it exploded, a small bomb in his kick drum on live television. And it actually, Pete Townsend blames it for his permanent loss of hearing in one of his ears because of that. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Keith Moon and John Bonham were actually, they pretty much, in my opinion, there was too many stories of like hotel room destruction that I kind of just deemed them like they created that trope, like, you know, early 60s, 70s, created that trope of like the rock and roll star fucking destroying hotel rooms and
right.
all that stuff, and getting drunk and throwing TVs out of windows. That's just the shit that there was just, like I said, there was just too many stories of that I didn't want to like go on and be like, this is an instance where Keith Moon threw a TV out the window. This was, it's like that was what he did. He just did that shit. But apparently, Peter Frampton's band, The Herd, used to open for The Who back in the 60s. Moon would often rig their keyboard player's keyboard with firecrackers and detonate them remotely from backstage. So, could you imagine?
This fuck, dude.
Could you imagine?
Dude.
You're just sitting back there with a fucking little trigger, like detonator, and you're just watching this other band play, and then you're just like,
yeah, dude.
just fucking. That just sounds funny. He was a notorious prankster, apparently, but it almost always seemed to be either destroying a hotel room, getting super fucked up, and explosions. It seemed like he was a big explosives guy.
I wish I looked up. Did a few did some few facts on Slipknot, because Slipknot is like notorious for that shit, lighting each other on fire.
Yeah. These fucking quirky freaking musicians.
And also, I have a home video of one of them. Of the time, along with the first time they played in London was in like 2002.
Yeah.
It was, but they had the home video with it, and they had where Joey literally puked. And puked on the floor, and is either Clown or Corey just comes over and just smears it on the floor.
Ew.
Right before they go on stage, because Joey threw up because it was hot under the mask. And
take the fucking mask off.
They can't. It's part of the back then. It was part of the gimmick.
I get it, but it's like
because then they were trying to keep the whole identity thing.
Yeah, for sure. Keith Moon, at a gig in the 1970s, Moon was experiencing pre-gig nerves and was offered something to take the edge off, right? It ended up being horse tranquilizer and or elephant sedative.
Jesus fuck.
Right? Regardless, it was found to contain PCP and was designed for large animals. All right? 20 minutes into the show, he collapses. They drag him backstage and he was revived, only to collapse again shortly after. The show was finished by a 19-year-old drummer that Pete Townsend pulled from the crowd.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like, who can play the drums? And there was just a 19-year-old kid that was like, I'll do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Probably had to have been one of their biggest fans, though, to be able to do that.
Yeah. But I just thought that was fucking interesting because...
Oh, the Go Kid. I wonder if he's part of the music industry now. I mean, he could be one of the greatest drummers, and we don't even know it.
Yeah, I think they did give a name, but I just wanted to center it around Keith Moon, but I didn't want to give too many names. But those are just a couple of fun facts about Keith Moon. I might cover him in another episode, but I have like 3 more dudes here to go.
3 more dudes, you nasty fuck.
3 more dudes to go. I got you for 3 dudes. I got 3 dudes. But next up is the beloved Beethoven.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I never realized how fucking weird Beethoven was.
You know what's something funny? I was like, fuck. I was like, why are all these musicians, like, there's re-editions of his songs? I was like, oh, back then they didn't have shit to record, so that's why it is all wrote down and composed. And I was like, I feel like an idiot. Because it took me the longest time to realize that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a funny fact.
No, that's I never even
So
thought about
what was Beethoven 1500s? Or is it no?
No. Definitely that was too far back.
Yeah, it was like 17 maybe.
I don't even know if it was that. I honestly
Yeah, it had to be because they wore the fucking pieces like fucking George Washington did.
Dude, they still wear those in Britain.
Did they fucking really?
Yeah. Fucking crazy shit. Powdered wigs is what you're talking about.
Oh, the name. Well, there you go.
Those actually
fucking
originated. Those are actually originated from syphilis. Yeah.
Why?
Because syphilis like eats holes in your head and takes your hair and shit. So they wore these powdered wigs. It's where big wigs, the term big wigs came from.
Like the what they would call bee's nest.
No, bee's nest
No,
is like
never mind.
I feel like a bee's nest is like Amy Winehouse hair. I don't know.
I think of Marge from Simpsons.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's not this. But
But
we're talking.
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. But some fun things about Beethoven.
I'm excited about this.
Beethoven
It's a little
believed
Beethoven.
he was a very, do you remember it callback to the episode where I ate the coffee?
Yes,
grounds?
I was getting ready to ask that if that was him.
I believe that was him that ate the coffee grounds to reset his coffee, because he believed his coffee tolerance, but or caffeine tolerance, same thing. But he basically he believed that 60 coffee beans exactly made the perfect cup of joe, which I thought was kind of weird.
I
He
think
was
we
like
need to-
so precise.
We need to try that.
I mean, that's in one cup.
I know. Like,
That's, I guess I don't know how much that is. Because we do it. We're used to nowadays just grounds. I wonder how many beans it takes.
well,
to
we
make-
would have to go get beans from the store and shit.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, because I want to know. We should do.
We should do that on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. We're going to test that theory on a later episode to see if 60 coffee beans exactly make the perfect cup of Beethoven Joe. So, moving on though, something he would often pour cold water over his hands while playing, and dunk his head in cold water before composing. So much as to soak the entirety of his clothes and seep below the floorboards into the neighbor's apartment below. I said below twice, but you get what I'm saying. So he would literally pour cold water over his hands while he played. I'm not quite sure why though. Like I
Maybe
said,
it was like his ritual thing, because we have our ritual stuff.
well, I think the dunking his head in cold water before composing, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's just like a wake up call. It's almost like chugging. A cup of
Maybe
coffee.
with the cold water, and then just put your hands in the shock and makes it.
I could see that, but usually cold. I guess piano playing and guitar playing almost take the same amount of dexterity when it comes to your hands, but from my experience, when my hands are cold, they're harder to move. They almost freeze up.
Maybe he was trying to be tighter.
That could be too. We don't know. We kind of can't ask him.
Oh yeah, no, but I know that maybe because that's something maybe stiff because you want to just fucking be in there in the pocket,
Yeah, but see, I get what you're saying. I just don't know.
Man,
How
he was
that
a
would benefit.
fucking badass, dude.
Yeah,
I heard he was I also heard he was an asshole.
we're getting to that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought that was crazy that he would just dunk his head in cold water, dump cold water on his hands until he was just sopping wet, composing, playing piano, and then so much that there's just fucking their neighbors below are just sitting there with the roof leaking because he's just dumping shit because he lived in a loft apartment above another apartment. And cool thing, I don't know if this is true, but I remember this from school. We watched the movie Beethoven Lives Upstairs, and he was deaf, and he actually sawed the legs of his piano off so that the whole piano would sit on the floor, and then he would sit barefoot, cross-legged on the floor and compose so he could feel the vibration.
Could feel it. Yeah, that's
I thought that was
fucking
interesting.
awesome.
I hope that's true.
Because that's fucking
I'm not even deaf.
awesome.
I'm not even deaf, and I would do that. That's kind of cool. I feel like it would feel good.
Yeah, dude.
It feel good on your.
I mean, he kind of had to do what he had to work around it just to make sure it set, felt
dog.
all right.
Could you imagine those low notes just tickling your taint?
Yeah. He said, "Why are you giggling?"
Well, let me show you. Let me show you that low that low C, right?
Fuck,
Shit, that would be. That's wild to me. But yeah, tickling the ivories and tickling the taint. Doing a little bit of tickling of everything. But he used to refuse to follow societal norms and would often wear the same clothes and unkempt hair. He would never comb his hair or anything. It was just dirty and he was a gross.
Sounds like
dude,
you,
apparently.
but with the clothes part.
Yikes. But he would often wear the same clothes and unkempt hair. His friends apparently would replace the clothes with new ones when they were just strewn about his apartment. And he would just put them on and not even notice. So, like, that was the only way his friends would get him to wear new clothes.
Oh, they just kid. They were like, well, we're just going to replace them.
Yeah, it's like, let's take these ready clothes, let's put new clothes. And then he would just not even think about it. He would just pick it up and put it on. And he wouldn't even notice he was wearing new clothes. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's like,
That's cool that they're
Looking
stubborn bastard, but well, you're not going to notice either way.
Yeah, but that's very nice of them.
Yeah, dude, that's called fucking friends. Like,
Friends.
Well, even though you're an asshole, we're gonna make sure you look fresh.
For sure. And if you're gonna be Beethoven, you got to be fresh.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta
Dun
get
dun dun dun. Oh, where's that man?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Classical music.
I do honestly really like classical music.
I do too, but it really depends on there's a time and place for it for me. I'm not like I'm not playing it on repeat like I do some of my shit. Like I'm not. I enjoy it, but I'm not a avid listener. I'll say.
Not gonna lie, one of my favorite things here lately has been I've been getting into the heavy like real hard.
The band, the
Yeah.
heavy, like Short Change Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 16 Candles.
Okay,
It's a good song,
yeah,
too.
because I have this weird playlist that I always play when I work, and it's like
How you like me now?
yeah, that has like Sharon Jones
Yeah.
and then just shit like that, and just a mix of like upbeat shit like James Brown, and it's just a really good mix of shit, and it's like the heavy's really heavy in that playlist, and
I'm
like,
really
dude,
heavily into the heavy.
I was like, dang, I didn't think I'd like these guys that much.
I had a.
How do you like me now? I do. I really do.
I went through a heavy phase.
Do you have any vinyls?
Of the heavy?
Yeah.
No. But
I figured you would.
no, not the heavy. The heavy is what led me to Screaming Jay Hawkins, though, because 16 Candles. They sampled Screaming Jay Hawkins. I put a spell on you. I'm dancing with the devil.
I put a spell on you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Black and white Jordan leather. Yeah. It's that I like the heavy, but last little bit about Beethoven. You were talking about him being an asshole. He was a short-tempered little man, and
short man syndrome.
he would often stomp off stage when audience members were caught murmuring amongst themselves. So if somebody was like talking during his performances, he would just be like, "I'm over this. I'm tired of this, Grandpa."
That's too damn bad.
And he would just stumble. Try not to fucking scream in the mic, Jesus Christ. That hurts every time you do that. But, not to ruin the vibe here. You're doing fine. You're doing great. That just, the past couple hurt really bad. It's okay. Just letting you know. But yeah, he was short-tempered, and he would stomp off stage when the audience members were caught murmuring, which I thought was,
Maybe
kind
he
of
was
funny.
paranoid that they were talking shit.
Oh, I mean, it could. I feel like all the signs point to him having some sort of mental disorder. It just was at a time whenever, like, you know what I mean, like autism or something. Like, in all seriousness, I feel like he seemed like he was very reclusive, very to himself. He would do really weird shit. Was into numbers apparently and coffee. I don't know. Would get mad if people talked about him. I don't know. Anyways. But next up, we have two more artists here, and I'll get into... This one is one of my favorites, but Tom Waits. I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Waits, but he he has an album called Real Gone, and that's probably one of my favorite albums of all time. It has a Metropolitan Glide, which is another strange song, which that should have been my question or my answer to my question at the beginning of the episode. But Metropolitan Glide and Dead and Lovely, which is a good song, and Green Grass and Sins of My Father, things like that. But I don't know how familiar you are with Tom Waits, but he is a rather hit or miss character. You either love him or you can't stand to listen to him because he does a lot of weird shit. But in an interview with NPR, he stated he would turn on more than one radio at a time. He said, "I like turning on 2 radios at the same time and listening to them. I like hearing things incorrectly. I think that's how I get a lot of ideas, by mishearing something," which I thought was kind of interesting. Because every time I hear, 2 different things playing at the same time, I feel mildly schizophrenic, and I hate that feeling. But that's kind of intriguing to me that he does that as part of his creative process. I think that's kind of cool, But yeah, it's like when we're in the van. I know sometimes I'm a dick about it. I try to be a little better about it, but or when you're watching a movie and somebody's on their phone and listening to a video. I have a couple of friends that are super terrible about that, and I'm just literally immediately my brain is just jumbled because I'm don't know what to hear, and it's weird, but I'm really bad about that. So I think that's kind of intriguing to me. He often would experiment with what he called alternative sound sources, and in other words, objects that he would just find. So what have you, a bundle of wires, beating it with a stick, making it sound weird. I don't know. He would just find random shit and make cool sounds with it.
That's dope.
Yeah. There's actually, that reminds me, there's this guy on YouTube, and it's called the Anarchestra, and it's literally, he built a studio full of just random pieces of metal and shit, and he built invented instruments, and you can pay to go in there and make shit. That's not Tom Waits, but it's just that same vibe. It's just shit, you found pieces of metal and made instruments out of it. It's just kind of neat. But I hope I didn't upset you with talking about how you screamed into the microphone.
No.
You just got really, really quiet after I said that, and I didn't mean it like that.
No, you're fine. I'm listening.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Sorry, this thing. I'm playing with this thing too.
Last little bit about Tom Waits is there was a biographer, Patrick Humphreys. He's a Tom Waits biographer. He coined quotations.
How long did he wait?
Tom Waits? I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
For a while, I'd say. He's been around since the late 60s. He's been waiting a while, I think. I think he's done waiting. He's already made it. He's a staple. He's in the Rock and Roll History Museum. Or Hall of Fame, whatever the fuck.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, one of the greatest bands of all time and lead singers, Soundgarden, just got abducted to the Hall of Fame.
Inducted.
Yeah.
Abducted?
Abducted.
They just got abducted by the
by aliens?
Yeah. They got abducted by the Hall of Fame. That's what happened to Chris Cornell, dude. Oh, shit. He got abducted by the Hall of Fame. That's where he went. Yeah. But Patrick Humphreys, a Tom Waits biographer, coined quotations he called Waits-isms. And some of these Waits-isms are, this is one of my favorites, "There ain't no devil, there's just God when he's drunk." I love that quote. "I don't have a drinking problem, except when I can't get a drink." I like that one a lot, too. "Everybody I like is either dead or not feeling very well. I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. You have to keep busy after all. No dog ever pissed on a moving car." Interesting. "I don't care who I have to step on my way down." And this is my favorite thing. when told by a critic his voice sounded like it was soaked in a vat of bourbon, left hanging in the smokehouse for a few months, and then taken outside and run over with a car, Tom said, "Flattery will get you nowhere with me." I like that. That's interesting. Our last artist, and debatably the most fascinating, in my opinion, information-wise. I love me some Tom Waits and all that. But David Bowie is our last artist here in our topic. And I think you'll find some of this kind of wild. But David Bowie, he was, for a while in his Thin White Duke period of his career, he...
I'm not familiar which one that was.
He had like different personalities,
Yeah,
you know, like
which was I thought was the coolest fucking thing in the world.
yeah, like he had his Ziggy Stardust period. His very
space.
Ziggy Stardust. He had the Spiders from Mars.
Didn't he have a song called Space Odyssey?
Space Oddity.
Ah, that's what it is. It's probably the only one I know off the top of my
and like Starman. You need to take a dive into David Bowie. I'll say, like I said earlier, David Bowie, I love him. I don't love all of his music, but he has fucking bangers. The most funky song he ever has, listen to Golden Years and Fame. Two really popular songs of his, but they're the funkiest, grooviest fucking shit of all time. Those songs probably got me like planted the seeds from a young age of funk and groove. I love that shit. But in the 1970s, he went through his Thin White Duke stage, and which was just another one of his alter egos that he created because he believed that it was easier to write as somebody else than himself, which I thought was pretty interesting. But here's a few fun facts about his time in the Thin White Duke period of his life. He once, in the 1970s, went to Hong Kong with John Lennon, and while trying to find a place to eat monkey brains.
What?
Yeah. A man recognized Lennon and brought him into the back of a building and apparently forced him to drink the blood of a snake. Then proceeded to Lennon returned to Bowie with a 1,000-day-old egg cooked in horse piss and shoved it into Bowie's mouth. And he ate it, apparently. They were looking for weird shit. They were literally, okay, think about this, okay? If you were running around Hong Kong in the 1970s, heavily under the influence of cocaine, looking to eat a monkey's brain, which you could possibly lose your shit to like kuru or some shit, which is a disease that you get from eating brains, more typically cannibalizing human brains, but that's beside the point.
So
would you
zombie syndrome?
You just lose your shit. Yeah, it's almost there's no scientific evidence to back this up.
Brains because they ain't got none.
There's no scientific evidence to back this up, but the way I view it is like if you get kuru and lose your shit because you're eating another person's brain, it's like you're quite literally gaining their thoughts, and there's not enough room in one brain for two spirits. I don't know. I think
crazy.
that. I believe that weird shit. That fucking
Hey, that's why Yellow Jackets go so crazy.
You will cannibal. You lose your shit. You're not supposed to eat people.
Well,
People don't eat people. But this is my point being is like if you're looking for monkey brains, are you really going to be that mad that somebody gave you something lesser than? Like in my opinion, a 1,000-day-old egg. So that's a few years old, but it's boiled and cooked in horse piss. I honestly would.
It's almost 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is do you think that egg would be? Would you be more likely to eat that egg than a monkey's brain?
Well, if it's aged, if the egg, no, that doesn't seem just. The only thing that seems weird about it is it being soaked in piss. That's the only thing that's weird about it.
Right.
Because, you got aged cheese, you got
Yeah,
aged steaks, so that part of it, like a 1,000-day-old aged egg,
Yeah.
it don't seem that gross.
Right. And they have like pickled eggs, so I imagine it to just be like pickled kind of vibe.
Well, would you
But
say?
in piss.
Yeah, what kind of piss did you say?
Horse piss.
Oh, that's
yeah.
salty.
yeah. The most delectable form of piss, yes. No, but my point is I feel like you couldn't be mad if you're like looking for monkey brains, and you get
Hey, eat this. What? Oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah. But this is where it gets crazy, a little crazier than that. But David Bowie dove head deep at one point of his career.
Is he dead?
David Bowie is dead. He died like maybe 5-10 years ago. Not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, no, I think
relatively. But at one point in his career, he dove head deep into heavy cocaine use and the occult. He claimed to have hallucinated 24 hours a day for some time. He kept a copy of a book called Psychic Self-Defense near him at all times. He believed a coven of black witches were trying to steal his semen in order to make a baby to sacrifice to the devil, and or to build a totem with which they could cast spells against him. He was so paranoid that he even believed Satan lived in his indoor swimming pool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He even seen him rise up out of the pool on occasion. He demanded an exorcism by a woman named Cherry Vanilla, which is a dope name. I doubt that's her real name, but
No, what was he on again?
cocaine.
Okay.
A lot of cocaine. Yeah, but he wouldn't so much as he wouldn't sleep. So
Okay, yeah.
I think
I know how that is.
I think that's what caused the 24-hour hallucinations. But a woman by the name of Cherry Vanilla, who once worked for Bowie, performed the exorcism, even claiming that the night of the event, the pool indeed did bubble up with no explanation, leaving a shadow in the shape of a demon on the bottom of the pool. She claimed that, not him. But
It's fucked.
this is the thing. She later admitted to be using cocaine heavily as well, but was allegedly sober that night. So he wasn't the only one seeing this shit. So magic, black magic, and Satan might be real. We don't know, but I just thought that was crazy that he thought that these black magic witches were fucking gonna steal his semen to make
Yeah,
a
dude, that's nuts.
homunculus baby and sacrifice it to the devil. To continue with that, he was once friends with Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. They bonded over their fascination for Aleister Crowley and the occult. Their relationship eventually soured after Page accidentally spilled wine on Bowie's silk sheets, trying to deflect blame onto someone else. This eventually led Bowie into a paranoid, drug-induced delusion, thinking Page, along with some witches, were trying to steal his bodily fluids once again. He began storing all of his urine in the fridge to keep them from conceiving the Antichrist. You ain't getting this fucking Antichrist piss. You're gonna use my piss to create the Antichrist?
Dang, dude.
Yeah, so imagine, and we don't need to get into it, but imagine your experiences in your past of drug use, but times 1,000. Like, he was, like, he was storing his piss in the fridge because he thought people were going to steal it and create the Antichrist. I thought that was fucking crazy.
I think one of the craziest things I've experienced, like that, like it was home by myself, and this is like probably like my peak of like being high on drugs and shit. And I was in Texas at this time.
Yeah.
And I had the door shut and like all the lights on and shit. And I just would see shit walk back and forth and like stand in front of the door with the door closed underneath the door and shit.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I opened the door and nobody would be like. As I get close to the door, it would walk away. Open the door. oh fuck, nothing's there, and then I close it. After I close it, I turn around, and in the shadow we get closer to the door and stand right by the door again.
That's fucking
Yeah,
creepy as
that was
shit.
probably one of the most creepiest things I've ever experienced. And also, I think it was up. I think at the time it was almost about damn near 2 weeks.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever took a whole tube of Dramamine before, but that's a good way.
I've heard.
Yeah,
That
we see that's literally like not a fun drug to do. You do it, you're asking for shadow people. Like it's the shadow realm drug, in my
Right.
opinion. It's like you don't need to stay up for 2 weeks on what have you on amphetamines or whatever. You can just take a tube or two of Dramamine, and you're just like, everything's a shadow person, and they're all out to get me. Even the people that are here and they're my friends, they have two faces, and one of them's always staring at me, which is really scary. But
You just got a group of people, and you see all their faces just staring at you.
no, I'm not kidding.
Is that really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
How'd you even like mentally process that?
You're just terrified the whole time.
I'm having a great time.
It makes you feel kind of good, like euphoric, but in your head you're just scared the whole time. And so, like, I probably did it. We did it twice because the first time I was like, "Is it this way every time?"
So you had to do it.
You had to
again.
do it
Sorry
another
for
time. No,
laughing.
you're good, buddy. So you got to do it another time.
Who'd
And
you
yes,
do it with?
oh, this was in high school,
Oh,
but like, I don't want to say names. I don't want to throw anybody
That's
under the
true.
bus, but you know. We got a tall guy and a short guy is who I did it with.
Yeah, I do. At least both those two would be involved.
I'll tell you off camera. None of them like work government jobs or anything that are or could get in trouble, but I just don't want to say any names when it comes to that shit. But yeah, and yes, it is. It's that way every time. It's very scary. But
That's
last
fucking funny.
little bit of information for this episode. David Bowie followed a strict diet of milk and red peppers to cope with the stresses of fame and drug addiction, thinking it would cleanse his body and mind, believing it would help him gain clarity and control over his life as he tried to get sober eventually. So he was eating nothing but red peppers and milk because he thought that it would clean his body. And it's like,
It's weird.
okay. What made? I'm kind of curious as to what made him think those two foods specifically would cleanse his body and mind, and get him sober. But
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
that sounds like he was. Go ahead.
Like, is he just got a whole red pepper and he just fucking eats it like an apple or what?
I don't know, man. But I will say that it sounds like he was still on cocaine when he had the thought of, man, I'm just gonna drink milk and eat peppers. That'll make me not want to do cocaine. I don't know. I'm not sure, but anyways, that concludes the Volume 1 episode of The Musicians, Too Weird for This World. The wild, the wonderful, the cattywampus, the bizarro, off-kilter oddballs, the quirky works, and onstage, offstage eccentricities of those far too weird for this world. Volume 1. Tune in next time, and we will cover a couple of other musicians before we get into a new topic altogether.
Hopefully it's not as wet.
Yeah, hopefully, well, tomorrow and the next day are more and more rain, so we'll see how that goes. But what are we going to do? We are going to live with cause and leave results to the great law of the universe. We are going to be pass each day in peaceful contemplation. We are going to be patient with our lives, and we're going to be present in our lives. After this episode, I greatly encourage you to put the fucking phone down or step away from the computer and hold your loved ones close. Spend time with your fucking dumb shit dog. You know, whatever you do, just do something with your loved ones. It's great. But Space Camp, you got anything to say?
Stay funky.
And stay groovy, and stay tuned, and be you, boo-boo, and be you, boo-boo. Without further ado,
We bring to you
No, we done brought to you.
We done brought it. Again. Art of the Jam.
Art of the jam. Art of the jam. Art of the jam. Play us off, Space Camp. All right.